I'm so excited right now. Like, y'all just don't know how excited I am to have Miss Novi Brown up in Utah.
I know, we're back.
Up in Utah in a surreal moment. I met you at Sundance.
Yes.
2 years ago.
2019, right?
Was it
or 20 before we
2020.
shut the last Sundance before the pandemic.
Yes.
Yes.
And I mean, this is so great to have you here today.
Thank you.
And you came for a Sundance. We did a film screening, and you were just amazing then.
Thank you.
And I saw how your career is just like shot like to the moon and even further than that. So let's talk about a little bit of some things. I know when I first met you, and you always speak about, you know, astrology and things of that nature. And I remember one day on your post, you were saying about how you walked past the billboard so many different times, and then you look up and you were up there for Sisters. Let's talk about that a little bit and how, you know, it's such a surreal moment to even, you know, be divine within and trust it.
That's so interesting because I was just talking to my best friend about trusting the timing and the process of it all. I went to an event the other day and I came across 5 people that I've seen along my journey. And I, you know, try to remind people that you see the same people twice in life. And God is very intentional with how he places people in your life, but we just tend to overlook it.
Right.
And so the vision that I've had about, oh, I want to be an actor. And the reason why I want to be an actor is because of the misrepresentation of Black women. That's an issue for me. So I want to take part in that. I see art as my activism.
Right.
So it's not because I want to be famous. Like, it's not about that. It's because so another little girl can feel comfortable in how she looks and how she feels about herself.
Right.
And we need visuals for that. And so that was very, very important for me. And as a young girl, I didn't see anyone that looked like us, for real.
Right.
You know, you have we could name them by names,
right.
You know, Maxine, and you can literally name them by names. And there wasn't just not enough women, Angela Bassett. And so it was difficult seeing yourself there, you know.
Right.
I didn't know how I was going to end up in that space. And I lived in New York City for a long time. That's why I auditioned a lot. I lived on 135th and around 5th Avenue in Lenox. And there's a train station there, the 2 and the 3 train. And that's the train I would take every day to go to work, to go to my auditions, to go to work, to go to my auditions every day. I would have like 5 auditions a day. And then 2019 happened. And I auditioned for the show. I got the show. And then in October, my mom sent me a picture of my face in the subway, of the same subway that I used to ride every single day to go to those auditions.
Wow.
So it's like, even now, I get emotional about it because it just means my dreams are valid, and it means that my vision was right from the jump.
Right.
You know, and that up there was just God's way of validating my voice.
Right. And when we have our voice, right, and what do you think about when we have the voice, we are good, it's in our gut, we know we're doing these things, and then people and sometimes life try to show you the contrary, that, nah, this not going to happen. How do you work through all of that?
I mean, a few ways is, if you ever heard about Abraham Hicks, like a speaker.
Right.
And she's always talking about being in your vortex. So that's something that's very, 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 very pinnacle. The point of living is to have your dream and surround yourself by people who help you manifest your dream.
Right.
That's literally the point of living. You're not supposed to be around other people who cannot see your vision. It's going to make you keep questioning yourself and what you were born to literally do.
Right.
So one of the human experiences is the gift of discernment and understanding who's supposed to be around you or not. And contrast is not a negative thing. Right. I'm an actor. I'm literally living in worlds of contrast all the time.
Right.
However, I don't let that stop me or create a blockage to where I'm supposed to go. If somebody does enter my reality and they're expressing something that maybe is not in alignment with my vision, I take note of it because it's still important information.
Right.
Perhaps the route I'm taking, I'm not supposed to be on the one-on-one. Maybe I'm supposed to be on the 405 for real. And that's what that person's trying to tell me. But I'm not hearing it that way. I'm hearing it as in, no,
Right.
you can't do this.
Right.
And for me, and like I was talking about my best friend, I just had a conversation with him. He's a writer, you know, but he gets booked for voiceover, for print. He gets booked for so many things. And I keep telling him, I feel like God is telling you, go that way.
Right. Right.
Go that way. Don't stop going that way. That's not going to work for you. That's not the route and the path I've selected for you to get to the overall dream that you want. So when those people do come into your life, adhere them because they're still lessons. They just might be, you know, a nugget for you to approach your plan differently.
That is so true. I went to DC,
Yeah.
did some things, came back, and when I came back here, because I've been in Utah now 2 years, okay? Every month since I've been here, I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going back to Atlanta.
Right.
I can't take it. Because in Atlanta, I saw people who looked like me and was able to build my business, right? And then to come here and see people look like me and they're like, who is that? Why is she here? What is she doing? Right? And so then to see the contrary, you know, it's like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, let me just be steadfast in what I know. And then I was like, I'm going to leave. And then I talked to my friend, one of my friends, and he's like, well, Tanisha, you've received divine information to go there. God is not going to allow you to leave unless he shows you where you need to go. So then, bam, I end up staying. And then a great opportunity came right after that once I decided to stay. Then again, I saw another thing and I was like, I'm going to leave. Then I turned around and stayed. Here's another opportunity. As I began to stay, I saw the need. It's like earlier this year, 2022, I read a report about Black women not feeling psychologically safe in this space. And I said, bingo, okay? And I'm looking here and I'm doing these things here. And then I was still looking like back, looking at what was going on in Atlanta, how many things I could be into and how many Black folks would be all into everything that I'm doing, right? And so then I get back from DC, I'm here, and I was going to leave again. And I talked to my son and he was like, no, Mom, I think you should stay. Talked to a friend of mine and he's like, Tanisha, give Utah a little bit more time, right? When I got off the phone with both of them, in the instant I heard, let your yes be yes and your no be no. And once I did that, I was able to focus, like you said, right? Just focus. And like God is saying, go this way. And when we listen to when that voice says, go this way, this is what you're supposed to do, all heaven break loose instead of hell, right?
Exactly. Love that. Yeah.
All heaven break loose. And so that's what I'm saying, like with you, you're listening, you're being intentional. Like you being on a show and you making sure you wear your natural hair. That's intentional for
Very
you.
intentional.
And it's so important to you.
Yes, it's very important to me. I mean, humans, we learn through visual first if we're blessed with the gift of sight, and some of us aren't.
Right.
So shout out to the disabled people. But a lot of us learn through that, and we learn through pictures, you know,
Right.
and it's very important. And I don't know, I guess it just stresses me out to see Black women stripping themselves of their natural essence. And don't get me wrong now, girls, do it for the protective, right?
Right,
We're growing our
right.
hair out, I want
Right.
to have a different style, or maybe I have some type of ailment, alopecia, something of that nature. And so there's all of those different categories. However, for me, the hair thing was about learning who I am and being comfortable with myself, period.
Right, right.
You know, and being comfortable in how I function and knowing how my body and my mind and my spirit all just come together with nothing altering it.
Right.
You know, and we are constantly, especially as women, and then Black women, we are just shapeshifters. We're always shifting into somebody else's energy and what they need and what they want and how they want us to behave and reflect their energy at the time.
Yes.
And so for me, the natural hair thing was, I have to do it because it for me, it's symbolic of a piece of liberation. It's symbolic of a piece of peace for Black women.
Yes.
I'm tired of walking into a corporate room and you look at me weird because I have thick, chunky, cute,
Girl, I'm
knotless
telling
braids.
you, they're cute.
They're cute.
Yes, they are.
And I've been in several situations where I am the only Black girl hired. I am, and then I come in with my big afro, and I come in with my eclectic hairstyles, and it even gets to a point where Black people are now confused.
Right.
When that was in our tribal heritage to look that way.
Right.
And I see it, when I see it in the comment section and people are like, oh my God, that hairstyle's so ugly. And I'm just like, wow.
Right.
We're so far away from ourselves and wonder why we're dealing with so much stress and mental health and all these other things, and we can't find love and we can't find our this. And,
Right.
and I know it sounds simple, but they say that the hair are the antennas to the spirit world, the crown.
Right.
This is the thing that's closest to source, God,
Right.
universe, whatever you want to call it, and we keep covering it up.
Right.
How are you supposed to get any information? How are you supposed to get any ideas? How are you supposed to do anything? So I was blessed to live in New York City. New York City is an amazing city. If you want to go there, highly recommend in your 20s. It's awesome. Builds great character.
Right.
But I could rock whatever, because New York is one of those cities, though, that
Right.
allows you to explore who you are and
Yes.
fashion, you know?
Yes.
So that's another thing, because a lot of us Black women are in spaces where we don't feel safe and we have to assimilate to survive.
Right.
And so for me, it's extremely important. Yes, Sabrina's completely, I feel like this character is the antithesis of what we've known Black women in media to look like.
Right.
She is soft, she is vulnerable, she is natural, she is confused. She does not know the answer.
She doesn't.
And I think that's what pisses the women off so much, because Black women, we're always supposed to know.
Right.
We're strong. But she's like, well, what do you want to do? You know, but we're not allowed that.
We're not.
We come out the womb fighting. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I really want to play those characters that, again, is a symbol for liberation for Black women. It's very, very small, but it can open like this whole catalyst.
Right. I'm excited to see what's next for you.
Excited.
I saw on Netflix.
No, not Netflix. BET.
BET.
Plus.
Why did I think?
Oh, no, you're speaking into existence.
Oh.
Tunisha. You're speaking into existence. We good over here. We good.
I am known to speak some things that be not as though they were.
That was God telling you to tell me. I will be on Netflix. Thank you.
But I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I thought that was such a cute movie.
Thank you. And it gets scary too, because, you know, I'm on a hit show and you're like, oh, am I going to work?
Right.
Am I one hit wonder? Does
Right.
anybody care?
Right.
And so there's a lot of things, but again, that's just self-deprecating talk, negative talk. And the characters, again, I'm gonna wear my braids, I'm gonna wear my locks, I'm gonna wear my, you know, and don't get me wrong, I might slap on a wig here or there, especially if she plays an assassin, you know what I'm saying? But then I gotta slap the wig off, you know, and the cornrows gotta be right underneath, you know.
Right.
But I'm excited to just kind of explore with that and give these women iconic looks. That's definitely what I go for in my characters. I want my characters to have these very standout things, you know, and the passion twists came from this girl, and I hope I don't say her name wrong, Kayla in Florida. She's the one that invented the passion twist. She's the one that invented that style, if I'm not mistaken, and it's named after her mother. Two Black women, you know what I'm saying? And so when I auditioned in that hair, and they called, when I got the job, they were like, we like the hair you auditioned in, and I was like, yes.
I love it.
So then I started wearing the passion twist, and then after that I was like, okay, lock them up.
Right.
Because that's what Sabrina's going through, and what do, you know, she's a manager, she's a woman in charge, or she was. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched the show. But, you know, why not just have her look this way or that specific way? And that's what I love about the show. Every woman it's like all of us on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or
Right,
Friday. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And that's the
right.
cool thing about it.
I love it. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here with me.
And best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
This is
and
amazing.
likewise.
Take this in. This is a moment.
In the moment with Tunisha. Thank you.